I was just having a little musing, and I figured I'd come on here and share it with y'all. Might jolt some awakening in some of you. I was just thinking, I'm like the Bible, right? Because if you want to check out my other content, I was attempting to be indoctrinated into the Roman Catholic cult. It's my view, it's my experience, and it's valid. That being said, I'm familiar with the Bible, so I want to be making it clear I don't have nothing against any motherfucker that practices any religion or anything like that. Okay, you do you. I'm saying from my experience. The reason why I'm utilizing the Bible is because that's the one I'm most familiar with, because I was attempted to be indoctrinated into the Roman Catholic cult. The Bible, there's a verse, the famous skull and bones number, right? 322 from Genesis 322. We were taught in the Roman Catholic cult from, I guess, that verse, Genesis 322, and the man has become as one of us, purportedly said God to, I don't know who. I don't think it's ever stated. God says that. And this is in reference to the Adam and Eve story. Eve is allegedly, purportedly seduced by the serpent, who a lot purport to say is the devil, but the serpent is never named, right? Just like it's never named who the fuck God is talking to. So the serpent, quote, seduces Eve and says, but take a bite of the forbidden fruit, because God had instructed Adam and Eve not to. And the serpent says, no, just do it. And then after Eve bites the apple and she has some enlightenment, and she gives the apple to Adam, who also takes a bite out of it. And then that is when God says, and the man has become as one of us. Okay, so God, if we want to take into consideration what Roman Catholicism, in my experience, teaches, God is above the man, Adam and Eve. But God is also instructing Adam and Eve not to do something, right? Think of the 10 Commandments, which we were also taught, thou shalt not. If God, as religion states in Roman Catholicism, was all-encompassing and so benevolent and good and was just all love, why the fuck would he be telling Adam and Eve, the man, the woman, whoever, humanoids, to not do something, or you will be punished, right? Oh, if you don't do this, then you're gonna go to hell, or if you do that, you're gonna go to hell, or whatever the fuck, right? All of this indoctrination we're taught in the Roman Catholic camp. Think about it. The serpent is another aspect of God, because God is all-encompassing. The serpent is the other aspect of God, but he is called the devil, but he's really another aspect of God, because if God is everything, he cannot be separate from the serpent. The serpent comes in and says, no, but you should do this, and then they become enlightened like God. But the key is, why were we taught that the serpent was evil and that God was good? But God is the one who is trying to control the humanoids, Adam and Eve, by telling them, don't do this. But the serpent, who was purported to be evil, was saying, no, but come on, just do it. What's the worst that could happen? Ain't nothing gonna happen. You're gonna be fucking enlightened if you eat this forbidden fruit, right? And this is what makes me fucking laugh, though. Okay, and I'm speaking for Roman Catholicism, right? We were taught that, basically. Or I was at least under the assumption, based on, you know, other individuals who had also been programmed in Roman Catholicism. The serpent was evil. And God is good, but God is the one telling motherfuckers not to do something, or you're going to be punished. And the serpent is like, you're not going to be punished. It would be a punishment if you believe that there is one. Just go ahead, take the forbidden fruit, then you shall be as one of us. So who the fuck was God talking to? As I said in the beginning, that it was not ever purported who God said those words to, and the man has become as one of us. God was talking to the serpent, which is the other aspect of himself. God consciousness, all-encompassing, and the serpent are the same thing, different degree. It's just the way of going about things. But the way that it was taught in the mainstream Roman Catholicism is that God is good and God is pure and the serpent is evil, but it was never taught that they are one and the same thing. But then if you want to take into consideration that most of what we've been fucking indoctrinated about is upside down and backwards, it goes to say that the God that motherfuckers are instructed to worship in the Bible is good and holy is really not so good. He's trying to control motherfuckers. And those who are instructed saying the serpent is the devil, right? Because he broke the rule of God. He's purportedly the evil one. He said, break the rules of what God said, but there are no rules because they're one and the same. The only way that one can see a rule anywhere is in the representation of Adam and Eve. The motherfucker's in the humanoid vessel, because the 3D is seeing God and the serpent as two different aspects, right? Religion is seeing God and the serpent as two different aspects. But religion, because it's indoctrination, is saying follow God. It's upside down and backwards. Follow the control, follow orders, follow being submissive to authority figures, right? That's programming, subliminal programming. But the serpent, the ones who are not following that traditional like code, they're just doing whatever the fuck they want, they're considered evil because they're going against the system. So do you see, from a higher spiritual perspective, God and the serpent are the same thing. What's twisted in the third dimensional realm, what the Roman Catholicism instructs, teaches, whatever, indoctrinates, is saying that God is good. So Roman Catholicism is teaching God is good, but God will punish you if you don't obey his rules, which is indoctrination into the third dimensional mind camp. Whereas the serpent is the emancipation of all that, saying just fucking do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? And shit turned out magical, because then lo, the man has become as one of us, right? The God and the serpent, because they're the higher aspects. But God, the God in the Bible, the false prophet, is being shown as this great, amazing, wonderful, benevolent God that one should worship and idolize. Well, as the serpent is like, oof, no way. Because those who break the rules of the 3D Earth Matrix do become emancipated and enlightened. And the man has become as one of us. That's what that quote means.